For this Christmas flower bracelet, I'm going to be making it in 3 different colours, and I'm going to be using these long twisting balloons size 260. I'm using the Latex hand pump, and I'm going to inflate each of these twisting balloons with 2 strokes of the hand pump. 1, 2. And then I take it straight off the pump, otherwise the balloon will deflate, and then just tie a knot. So now we've got all our 260s inflated with 2 strokes of the hand pump. So just take one of the 260s, give it a little squeeze just to soften it, and bend the balloon over, just fold the balloon over, and we're starting at the nozzle end, okay? And I'm going to measure a loop that is 3 fingers in width. So 3 of my fingers. If you've got smaller hands than me, maybe use 4 fingers as your measuring guide. And then I've pinched hold of that knot, and I'm just going to grab hold here and twist, okay? And then keep twisting a few times, and then poke your finger through the centre of the loop and take hold of that knot and nozzle and pass it through the centre, and then you can let go. But that's going to help ensure that that loop doesn't come undone, okay? We're going to give our balloon a little squeeze and then fold the balloon over again. Again, we're going to measure 3 fingers or so and twist. And I like to make a twist and then just look at the loops to see if they're roughly the same size. Don't worry if they're not exactly the same size. I think my loop is a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to reverse that twist, just adjust slightly and then twist again, and I'm happier with that. So I'm going to keep twisting and then take hold of that knot and nozzle and wrap it around that second loop. So you've secured those 2 loops. And we're going to do that again with our other 2 colours. So again, fold the balloon over, measure 3 fingers, twist. I'm going to do this more quickly. As you practice this, you'll become quicker at doing this too. So just measure and twist. Okay. Take that knot and nozzle and wrap it around. And we're going to do the same with the white balloon. And then we can take all our loops and we can scrunch them all together. So I'm holding them at the top here, and then just grab hold of all the loops and just twist them all together. And you're connecting them all together just by twisting them around, okay? So you've got something like this. And then all we need to do is just arrange the loops. So wrap the loops around one another a little bit. This is going to connect those loops together more snugly. Okay? And you're going to want to end up with the loops opposite one another, with the colours opposite one another. Okay? So you're going to want the red opposite the red, the white opposite the white, and the green opposite the green. Now we can snip off the ends of these balloons. And I like to save the ends of these balloons because you can use them in other ways. The reds are good for animal noses, the whites for the centre of flowers, that sort of thing. So just tie these ends together. Okay, so they don't come undone. And the other thing that we can do to ensure these loops don't come undone is just take the bits of excess and wrap them round a few times. Okay, and don't worry if your petals get moved around, and then we can trim off all these messy bits here. And we can just rearrange those loops and put them back into position. So here's one of those tips that I was talking about. I've saved just the tip end of a gold balloon, and I'm just going to inflate this tip end, pushing it down onto the pump and then just inflating right to the very tip. Okay, and then what I do here is I pinch here, and as I pinch, I twist. Okay, so I've just pinched a bubble there, twisted it round. I can let go here, let all the air out, and then I can just tie this into a knot. Okay, and pull that tight. So you've got this little round bubble. And then you can pull that bubble into the centre of your flower and just wrap the end around. I've got an uninflated 260 and I've got a pocket pump, and I'm just going to put the tiniest amount of air into that balloon and tie the end. If you don't have a tiny pocket pump like that, don't worry, just skip that step. Okay, and I'm taking the end here and I'm just going to wrap it into those flower petal loops. Okay, take the other end And again, just wrap the tip into the loops at the back. Just wrap around a couple of times, and that is secured. Okay, and we've now got a lovely wearable Christmas flower. So we're ready for the party. And if you've enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy this one next.